the Long Island Serial Killer. We would like to help the families of the people that suffered from the hands of the Long Island Serial Killer Rex. He allegedly killed many women. These women was working presumably the streets at night, but that don't give you a reason to kill them. They probably had kids or at least families where they was trying to make a living the best way that they could, and he took advantage of the situation and made it where he would just, I guess, do whatever he did with him and then allegedly killed him. He's claiming his innocence, but nobody believes that. Not even him and his lawyer. But I think they tracked his DNA through a stepson or somebody, a son, his son, and then they found this man. Been over a decade. He been killing women allegedly and getting away with it. He had a good job, a wife, family, but he had the urge to kill women that was working the streets. So, like they moved in on him because they was thinking he was about to do the same thing. So luckily they finally caught up with this madman. That is exactly what he is, a madman. So if you would like to support the family, we are a non-profit, a 501c3. 100% of the donations will go to the family. So these are the women that have been missing or found deceased for over 10 years. These are the women that was working at night and came up missing. Melissa Bartheelemy, Maureen Brainard Barnes, maybe she was married, I don't know why her name is hyphen. Megan Waterman, Amber Lynn Costello, Jessica Taylor, and Valerie Mack. We have a PayPal button on our site. You don't have to leave the site. Just if you would like to donate to the family, we would 100% would go to that family. So if you want to support them, it's a pretty sad story, but we're here to try to ease the pain that they have been going through for over a decade. So join us to help others. If you don't have any money or you're on a tight budget, just subscribe. Just by subscribing and growing the channel, you are helping someone. There are disasters and victims all over the world every day, and the more subscribers and viewers that we gain, which we are gaining daily, we will be able to help more people that are needing help. So join us to help others by subscribing. If you would like to donate $1 or 1 million or 10 million, however, 100% will go to this cause. If you would like to donate to the charity, that is okay. You can donate to the charity, but we have a subscribe donation button on the page. You can just hit that and help the family out. But if you can't donate, just subscribe. You will be helping someone during a storm, doing cancer treatment, doing homelessness, or a victim of violence, as this man has reaped on the families of these people. As we said, Opulent Philanthropy is a 501c a non-profit organization. If you donate through our YouTube channel, 100% of your donation will go to the event of your choice. We also have a website, www.opulentusa.org, and if it's a PayPal button on there as well. If you donate through the website, you will also 100% will be going to the victims. We haven't posted this event, but we will by Monday. So, but there are many events on our website. If you take a look at it, you may see something in your community or someone that needs your assistance. But like I say, if you don't have any money, that's okay. Don't feel bad. You can just help by subscribing. And it's about the easiest way to help someone is subscribe. A lot of people are living on a tight budget and they can't donate, and we understand. But you can help. This channel has been growing pretty fast. Within a week's time, we've had over 1,000 subscribers and over 80,000 views in 1 week. So some of our videos didn't get a lot of views, but some of them did. I think when you're new, we're not new, but when you start regularly recording, you have to get into YouTube's algorithm, and that takes a couple of months maybe. But once you get into the algorithm, the YouTube will start recommending the videos to other people that are interested. So it takes time. It's a process, and we will be here. So we will go through the process, and those of you that are going through the process with us that has already subscribed and donated, we want to thank you. We want to thank all the corporations that support these programs, and we want to thank their employees that also support and volunteer for Opulent Philanthropy. So thank you from the bottom of our heart. We appreciate your help and your financial support. So we definitely want to thank them, because they have been supporting this organization for a long time. So we have to thank the people that believed in us and help us to help others. And there are many corporations that probably all of them. Well, it's probably over 1,000. They have policies where they don't really want us to share the names. So we'll use their logos. I'm gonna have to look over the policy, but it's we have a lot of corporations we would like to thank. So I'm gonna have to look over the policy before I put their names out there. And people people boycott, and they stop buying your product, and they see something they don't like, about some gay people or about some education or something. It's a war on everything, look like. So we don't want to put somebody's name out there and then they get boycotted. So we're not gonna say who did what, because that could be a problem, a big problem. We don't want to lose our daughters, so we don't want to say the wrong thing, because one little thing these days will get you canceled. So people, Bud Light, I think they taking that off the shelf too. But back to the fundraiser. For more than a decade, a string of unsolved killings known as the Gilgo Beach murders, this was in Long Island, terrorized the residents and confounded authorities on Long Island's South Shore after a woman's 2010 disappearance led investigators to find at least 10 sets of human remains and launched the hunt for a possible serial killer. So I found 10 sets. That's a lot of remains to a lot of people that this person or somebody, Rex or somebody killed. So far, the DNA is pointing to Rex, and Rex is saying it's not him. I think this man had a good job and a wife and a family, but let's look at him. He had some evil stuff going through his head. But when authorities this week announced a major breakthrough in the case on Friday, charging New York architect Rex Heuermann, Heuermann, he's 59 years old, with murder in connection to the killings of 3 of the 4 women who became known as the Gilgo 4. That's the name of the beach. So I guess he would drag them out by the beach and take them to the beach somewhere out there, and then he would do whatever. He pretended he was going to pay him or whatever, and decided to kill him. It's a sad story. It's all these people, no matter what their jobs are, their occupation, or what they're doing, they're still human beings. So they still have families that love them. They still have kids that love them. What they do with their personal life is really not a reason for them to be deceased or overlooked. They're still human beings. They're still loved, and we don't want nobody killing nobody. Not somebody that's a street worker or just anybody. Children, people shooting through, having shootouts, killing innocent people. We hope that all this will stop. We are a non-violent organization. We preach it and teach it love over hate. We believe love that can is stronger than hate. We just have to keep that out there in these people's mind, and maybe they'll choose love over hate, because love is a powerful word. We don't use it enough. But the suspect was taken into custody Thursday night. Authorities said he has been indicted on 1 count of first-degree murder, 1 count of second-degree murder, in each of the 3 killings. Melissa Bartheelemy in 2009, and Megan Waterman and Amber Costello in 2010, according to the Suffolk's district attorney. So this is I don't think he'll be getting out of jail. I don't know. The bonds has changed a lot. So, but I don't think something that somebody that's been on the run for 10 years hiding in plain sight, they say, would be bonded out. I don't think he would bond out. No matter if he says he's innocent or not, this is pretty serious as it gets. This is someone that I wouldn't have bond out, and I wouldn't want to live next door to him. He's a psycho. So, allegedly psycho, okay? We don't want to get sued. People will sue you for anything. I don't want to be going to court in New York. This man suing me from his jail cell or something. You just never know, man. People will sue you. You have to watch every word you say. I don't want to be sued, or I'll get the company sued. So we're going to keep them allegedly going. Rex Heuermann, who was told his attorney he is not the killer. He's saying it's not me, even though the DNA is matching him, and he probably has some other. I know he has some other items that pointed towards him, but we'll see if he take the stand and try to convince 12 jurors that it's not him, and the DNA match him, because DNA evidence these days is pretty heavy. It's more heavier than an eyewitness. Eyewitnesses get it wrong all the time, but DNA and fingerprints and that type of technology is almost guaranteed to get you convicted. So, cameras, all that. So anyway, so the prime suspect in the 2007 disappearance and death of a fourth woman is Rex again. Maureen Brainard Barnes, according to a bail application from prosecutors. He has not been charged in that homicide, but the investigation is expected to be resolved soon. So it sounds like they have information that he, some evidence that he may have killed this woman too. So authorities said once Heuermann was identified in the early 2022 as a suspect, they watched him and his family getting DNA samples from items in their trash as they built their case. You know, DNA, if you eat some, drink some, or discard something, or throw something in the trash, they're gonna beat the trash man there, and they're gonna dig that through that trash and get that DNA, and it's gonna, and if it match up, then you're in trouble. If it don't, then they move on to somewhere else. But they wanted this guy bad. He had eluded them for over 10 years, so they wanted to crack the case. And like I say, somebody identified him, so he killed. It's 2022. He got identified. He still going at it. He thought he had a airtight game, because these women was working the streets, and he felt people didn't care, so he could continue to get away with it. But it finally caught up with him. We wish it would have caught up with him quicker, but it finally caught him before he killed someone else's daughter or mother, because this man is not a good person. He was remanded without bail Friday, so he has no bail. We already guessed that. They're not giving this man no bail, no judge. Nobody gonna trust him out on the streets. He's a psycho, allegedly. They're not gonna trust him out on the street. He's not. He stayed at home with his wife. She was safe, but I'm sure she probably wouldn't trust him either. If they let him out, he wouldn't have nowhere to go. Nobody want to close their eyes around him. This man here might do anything, especially now that he's been caught. He might burn the house down, because he don't want to. A lot of people don't want to go to jail, so now they're gonna really go cuckoo. So, but he entered a not guilty plea. Not guilty, Your Honor. I didn't do it. He did it through his attorney. His next court date is scheduled for August the 1st. So we're going to see what happens in August. Because he's not, he probably go to trial. He has nothing to lose. He's not going to get freedom. So he probably go to trial, and it would be very interesting if he took the stand to explain how he's not guilty and where he was doing all these different murders. And because they got cell phone data, they got all that wrapped up, and they putting it together. So he gonna have to explain how it wasn't him, and how the DNA is not him. I don't know how he gonna explain that, but that's what he's gonna have to do. So it's not him. Rex, that's not you, huh? Okay, you say so. Police discovered the first set of female remains in bushes along an isolated strip of waterfront property on Gilgo Beach while searching for another missing woman, Shannon Gilbert, a 23-year-old from Jersey City, New Jersey, who hadn't been seen since 2010. He just couldn't quit. He wanted to be caught, and they caught him. So anyway, the remains of Melissa Bartheelemy, 24, were the first to be discovered in the case during the search on December 11, 2010, according to county officials in Suffolk. 2 days later, investigators discovered the remains of 3 additional victims: Maureen Brainard Barnes, Amber Costello, and Megan Waterman, strewn across a half-mile stretch of the Gilgo Beach. That's why they call it the Gilgo murders. The 4 women who were wrapped in camouflage burlap worked as escorts who advertised on Craigslist and were last seen between July 2007 and September 2010. So this is how he I guess found them. I thought they was on the streets, but I guess they was working the website's Craigslist and contacted him, and he met him, and they felt comfortable with him, and he was allegedly a devil in disguise. So he had other motives. Just wanted to kill somebody, I guess. Killing don't pay or something. He had some crazy stuff going on. But after Barthelemy's disappearance, authorities say her family received multiple taunting calls. And one of the calls, the suspect admitted killing and sexually assaulting Miss Bartheelemy, according to a bail application filed by the county after Heuermann's arrest. So he was arresting him. He thought he was never going to be caught. So he had the nerve to call the people and say he killed them. Like he was really out there. And the family is traumatized, and even though it's been 10 years by this story coming back up and finding the remains and catching him, it's like it starts all over. It's new because they are re-traumatized. Now it's going to be back in the news and online and everywhere else, and that's a lot for the family to relive. So it's just like yesterday when you have a loved one that dies, it never goes away. It's like they're still there, and the pain don't go away, and then you got to look at the person who did it, and that's even more pain and disgust, and it's just a nightmare, traumatizing the children, the mother. It's just a lot to put on a parent's worst nightmare is their children come up missing and they're deceased before they are. So got to be careful out there. You got a lot of kooks, a lot of people running around with bad intentions, pretending that this man here, he dressed like he was a businessman, but that don't mean nothing. That was a disguise. You heard of the devil in disguise? He was in disguise. Wasn't even hiding. Had a family and everything, so he was definitely in disguise. Police said in January 2011, calls from Barthelemy's cell phone had been traced to Midtown Manhattan, with the 2 last calls made from around Madison Square Garden and Times Square. The caller hung up too quickly for authorities to pinpoint the exact locations of the calls. So he was calling, and man, he was he had it bad. On March 29, 2011, the partial skeletal remains of another woman was found several miles east of where the bodies of the Gilgo 4 were discovered. So they keep digging up, but there's no telling how many women he allegedly did this to. Hopefully he'll confess and say where all the bodies are, and let the families bury their children and moms, and they can begin to heal, because that's part of the process when you're traumatized by these psychos out here. The woman was first known as Jane Doe before investigators identified her as Jessica Taylor. So she was Jane Doe number 5. Another escort whose partial remains were previously discovered in Manorville in 2003. So he was a busy man. He was a busy man for a long time, if he's the one that did it. I just know his wife is devastated, and children like this. You go to work and you look at this man every day, and he's telling jokes and smiling like he's a good guy, but when he probably supposed to be off of vacation, he's out killing them. A week off for holidays, and just he had some days off, or killing after work and pretending he was working long hours. I don't know what he was doing, but he had some kind of plan that he had worked into killing escorts in his daily plan, some kind of way. He had some spare time, a bunch of lies. Car broke down, can't make it home, baby. Got to work late. Got drunk and couldn't remember how to get home. People make up lies all the time about stuff. Shit, you don't know where they're at. You don't know where they're at. The following month, on April 4th, 2011, 3 more sets of remains were found on a stretch of Ocean Parkway in Suffolk County near the beach. So he liked the beach. He liked the... Man, you see this guy at the beach, it's trouble. Trouble. Beach was his very favorite place to go, looked like. They included a female toddler, an unidentified Asian male, and a woman initially referred to as Jane Doe number 6. So if he did all this is he was stacking them up, and that's pretty psycho of him. 1 week later, 2 additional sets of human remains were found in Nassau County, about 40 miles east of New York City, one of which was identified as the mother of the toddler through DNA analysis. The mother's partial remains were first discovered in 1997. The other set of remains genetically matched with remains found in 1996 on Fire Island, significantly expanding the timeline and geographic reach of the investigation. Man, he was definitely terrorizing the people and the neighbors, and people make parents scared to let your young people go out and go to events and stuff. You got a serial killer running around. It just ruins the whole mood, the whole neighborhood, the way you raise your kids. It change everything up, because you don't know who it is. And it's like a ghost. But he's not a ghost no more. We know exactly who allegedly did this to these women. So in mid-April on the same year, Steve Cohen, an attorney for Bartheelemy's mother, said a man using the victim's cell phone made taunting calls and claimed he killed her. So this was his thing. He would call you and he wanted you to know he was the killer. He wouldn't turn himself in, but he wanted to let you know, I did it. I'm the one that did it, and ain't nothing you can do. And then told him, do you think you'll ever see her again? The unidentified male caller asked Bartheelemy's sister on August 26, 2009. he knew they was dead, and he wanted to, I don't know how he got their numbers, but he found it in, probably on Facebook or somewhere. I don't know where he got it, but he found their information in and wanted to taunt him. He was bragging. He was proud of, he was killing women. He was proud of it. Let's see how proud he gonna be in that jail cell, and how long he gonna last. Hopefully he can do his time and not hang himself while some other inmates kill him in there. We're not wishing nobody no bad luck, but a lot of times when these people get caught, now they want to commit suicide because they can't. They weak. They tough when they free, but they weak when they get caught. They don't want to do the time. So he told him he killed him, and killed it. And he added that and hung up the phone. Less than a minute, so I guess he was timing it in case they was tracing the car. He was hanging up. I guess the minute stops the trace. Another phone call was placed in July 2009, just days after Bartheelemy's disappearance. It was the first of 7 calls he made from Bartheelemy's cell phone. So he's charging her phone and calling the family. That's how he got their number. He had her phone. He took her phone and went through the numbers and called. This man had no heart. He had no heart. Not only he killed him, he terrorized him. He had their number, and he would call and say the craziest stuff. He said in one phone call, the unidentified male caller referred to Bartheelemy as a whore in a short conversation with her then 15-year-old sister. So that is, he took it to the extreme. If he is the killer of these people, and I don't know New York's law if he can get the death penalty or a life sentence, but if he's convicted, I'm sure that he will get the max. He's not gonna. Any juror that hears all this and this many people involved, they're not gonna have any sympathy for him, and the judge is not either, especially with that DNA matching why he's saying he's innocent. He didn't do it, Your Honor. Your Honor not trying to hear that. Not gonna honor that. Not with that DNA matching. If it didn't have the DNA, still be free probably, but that's what caught up with him. Times have changed. They can take, it used to be it couldn't jump from person to person, but now they can link you from a baby, a cousin, or uncle, or a stepchild. They gonna link you some kind of way. So as the technology evolves, they're going to most definitely be able to close a lot of cold cases. That's why they're going around digging in trash, because that technology, they got a hit, and that hit could lead to your house. Even though it's not you, it could still lead to your house, and because somebody in your bloodline did something wrong. So if you see the police out there digging in your trash can, you can be sure it's a DNA hit somewhere. They're not just digging in the trash can because they hungry or nothing. They digging in the trash can because somebody going to jail. So yeah, the police make enough money to not be digging in the trash can, but this is a technique that they use to catch somebody with a DNA from a robbery or murder or sexual assault or whatever. This is a technique. So this is what you have to do. You don't want to alert the people, so you wait till midnight or whatever when all the lights go off in the house, and on trash day you show up and you dig through the trash and you try to match that DNA, and then you can get a warrant and sneak up on them when they're getting off work or getting in the car and arrest them. And so anybody out there would think that you've got away with something 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that DNA will track you, so you might not want to sleep too hard. But in the final call, the man described in graphic detail to the victim's sister what he had done sexually to Bartheelemy. And this man here, this is like, okay, you already did the ultimate crime. Now you just want to rub it in their face, and then you go home to your wife and kids and pretend you're a good guy, but you are one of the lowest. So in December 2011, Gilbert's body was found in the wooded marshes of Suffolk County's Oak Beach. The beach is about 9 miles from where the 10 other sets of human remains were found. Authorities later said they believe Gilbert's death may have been accidental and not related to the Gilgo Beach slaying. So that's what they first thought. Like something must have changed, or they wouldn't have said they first thought it. So police released photos of a key clue and an ID, a victim. In January 2020, Suffolk County Police released photos of what it said could be a significant piece of evidence: a black leather belt embossed with the letters WH or HM. The department was also launched a website to collect new tips. So they found something. They found a black leather belt. So I guess the belt broke. Somebody was fighting. I don't know. They found the belt. That was a piece. That was one of his mistakes. We believe the belt was handled by the suspect and did not belong to any of the victims. Former Suffolk County Police Commissioner told reporters. On May 28, 2020, the New York Suffolk Police Department identified Jane Doe as the sixth victim. As Valerie Mack, a 24-year-old Philadelphia mother, went missing 2 decades later. 2 decades later. If this is the same person, he's been getting away with it for 20 years. That's a long time to be killing people. If he'd done it for 20 years, he wasn't going to stop. So luckily they caught him. He couldn't stop. And then, what was it, 59 or whatever? 54, 59. He's killing people. He's an old killer. He just couldn't quit. He was going to kill till he died. Yeah. He thought he was going to take it to his grave, but they caught him. The FBI helped identify remains, Max remains, using advanced forensic DNA technology. Just like I said, it's advanced and it's evolving. That technology is gonna find you. Between the cameras and the technology, license plate readers and all that, it's gonna, I don't know if it's gonna slow crime, but it's gonna definitely catch you. I don't know how they're gonna put all these people. I guess they're gonna home confinement or something, because as the technology evolved, it's evolving to stop crime and to catch you more quickly. And that's a good thing. Using samples from her remains, Suffolk County investigators were able to find Mac's biological relatives through genealogy, which ultimately led to her adopted family and son, Hart said. So, police formed a task force to find the killer. That was this year in February. I guess they had enough evidence to start looking. So the Commissioner Rodney Harrison formed a multi-agency task force to investigate the Gilgo Beach killings. The task force included the Suffolk County Police Department, Suffolk County Sheriffs, the New York State Police, and the FBI. Yeah. They've had it. They've had it with his foolishness. They've had it. On March 14, 2022, Heuermann was first mentioned as a possible suspect in the Gilgo Beach murder case after a New York State investigator identified him in a database, according to Suffolk County. So the investigators then started surveilling him and his family and took pieces of garbage to obtain DNA samples, even discarded pizza crust. So, pizza. He bit into that pizza and he didn't finish it. They got the crust, and that's how he may have got caught. So, it's like I said, that technology, that DNA is everywhere. If you go out and you have a drink and you leave your drink on the bar, you don't finish it, or you finish it, when you walk out the door, they sneak up and get the glass and put it in a plastic bag and take it with them. So they watching. Once they find out who you are, they watching. They're not gonna come and say, "Hey, let me swab your mouth." They gonna get that warrant. They gonna just be patient, take their time. Hopefully you don't do nothing crazy, but they gonna get that warrant from that judge, and you going down. So don't think you slick. As they closed in on Heuermann, investigators used cell tower records from thousands of possible individuals down to hundreds, and then to a handful of people. Next, authorities focused on residents who also matched a physical description provided by witnesses who had seen the suspected killer. So he was caught. He was caught and didn't know it. Authorities zeroed in on anyone with a connection to a green pickup truck a witness has seen the suspect driving, according to law enforcement sources with knowledge of the case. Later, authorities learned Heuermann drove a green pickup truck registered to his brother. He was going to get his brother shot or arrested with his foolishness. You can't let nobody use your car. You don't know what they're doing. If he was an architect or whatever he was doing, why did he have to use somebody else's truck? Well, we see why now. He was up to no good. Heuermann matched a witness' physical description, lived close to the Long Island cell site, and worked near the New York City cell sites where other calls was captured. So all that calling he did to traumatize the family, that all caught up with him. They used it to lock him up, and that's what he deserved if he's the killer. Personal cell phone and credit card billing records revealed numerous instances where Heuermann was in the general location as burner phones, which authorities say he had with him at the killings. He used the phones to call the three victims, and also used Brainard Barnes and Bartheelemy cell phones when they was used to check voicemails and make taunting phone calls after the women's disappearance. So he take their cell phones and taunt the family. It's a cold man, cold heart, had no heart. He was mad at women, mad at the world, mad at just mad. It's a madman. He was mad at the family. How can you be mad at somebody you don't even know? You don't know these people. You calling them and you taunting them and you're mad at them and you don't even know them. Like, the man got a mental defect, a bad one. Like, how you gonna be mad at somebody and you don't even know them? You're taunting them, you're killing them, you just didn't went like, rabbit. You off to, but you go home and you play like you're normal. You don't kill nobody at your house. You take them to the beach and they come back alive, your family. You do everything else normal, but when you're not with your family, you just turn into some type of mad wolf or something. Like you go home, you got a family, you live in neighbors, you're saying hi to your neighbors and y'all speaking and having a good time, and you got friends and all them alive and your neighbors alive. But then when you go out at night to the Craigslist, you just a whole nother you pop up. Like, you rewire, like you're not even the same family person. So he definitely had two personalities, and probably needed some medication and some treatment. But now he went too far. He needed that before he started his killing spree. Well, he can probably get some type of treatment and medication in jail, because it's too late to get it anywhere else. And maybe he don't want no treatment. He might like, he did what he liked, I guess. He lived his life. But authorities said a search of Heuermann's computer revealed he had scoured the internet at least 200 times for details about the status of the investigation. So he's stalking the police too. Heuermann was also compulsively searching for photos of the victims and their relatives, and he was trying to track down relatives. Now, what the? He gonna kill the relatives? This man was he didn't want money from him. He just gonna kill him. In late 2022, detectives recovered a cup believed to have been discarded by Heuermann, but they could not get a good DNA sample from it. A law enforcement source close to the investigation told CNN on Saturday. So in 2023, Rex Heuermann arrested in some of the killings. Finally got him. It took a long time. But sometimes that's what it takes to get somebody that's premeditated, that planned to do something like this. Take a long time to catch them. But we'd rather a long time than not caught at all, because he would still be doing it. Somebody else's daughter, somebody else's mother, somebody else's sister. So luckily they caught him, because the man didn't have the will to stop or turn himself in. Definitely wasn't going to turn himself in. He was searching to see how close they was to him. He reading the news and probably watching YouTube and typing in everywhere for the Gilgo murderers. It was him looking. He was gonna try to probably skip town or skip the country, but he didn't know they was watching him. He didn't know they had moved in on him. He didn't know they was waiting around the corner to put them cuffs on him. But he definitely was trying to stay one step ahead of the police. But that DNA was right there, caught up with him. So in January 2023, investigators got a complete sample of Heuermann's DNA from leftover crust in a pizza box. He threw it in the trash. He was glad then. He threw it. He finally, he had a little weight on him, and he should have ate it all. You know, he greedy. But I guess he got full of something else. He got full and threw away that pizza, and that was the last she wrote about him. So during the initial examination of one of the victim's skeletal remains and materials discovered in the grave, Suffolk County Crime Laboratory recovered a male hair from the bottom of the burlap bag, I guess, the killer used to wrap her body, according to prosecutors. Analysis of the DNA found on the victim and the pizza thrown out by Heuermann's showed the samples finally matched. So they finally matched this man after, is it 2 decades? If it's him, allegedly. Finally matched him and finally caught up with him. These people can rest in peace, hopefully. after the trial, after he's convicted, they can rest in peace. And they deserve some peace after being terrorized and brutalized and traumatized by who the county believe is Heuermann's actions. So additionally, hair believed to be from Heuermann's wife was found on or near 3 of the murder victims. Prosecutors alleged in the bail application, citing DNA testing. The DNA came from 11 bottles inside a garbage can outside the Heuermann's home. They matched the wife too, but she didn't have a clue what was going on. Her DNA was attached to whatever he was using, some hair or something, but this woman ain't had a clue that she was sleeping with a serial killer. She would have left for Long Island. She would have got out of there. This man here, his shoes, look at. She probably thanking the Lord this, if he did it, his crack didn't get her. A suspect connected to some of the Gilgo Beach murders was taken into custody in New York City, marking the first arrest in the case, according to Harrison. He was transported back to Suffolk County Police Headquarters in the hamlet of Yaphank on Long Island. So they got him. His days are over with that game. That's over with that terrorizing and killing people and taking their cell phone and go through the phone and calling the families and calling the little kids and the sisters and the babies and anybody that answer. You want them to know he did it and what all he did to the body while he had custody of it, like while he had kidnapped him. So he was definitely a terrorist. It's terrorist right here. You don't have to go abroad. It's terrorists right here in the United States. So you don't have to go anywhere. Terrorists walking around every day, smiling, talking about how you doing, how you doing, and opening doors with the crazy. But anyhow, a day later, authorities identified the suspect as Heuermann, registered architect. This man was an architect who has owned a New York City-based architecture and consulting firm. So he was smart enough to have his own business, but that wasn't good enough. So he owned the firm since 1994, according to his company's website. The case against Heuermann came together over 2 years with the restart of the investigation, in which investigators used the power of the grand jury, including more than 300 subpoenas and search warrants, to collect evidence and tie Heuermann conclusively to the murders, Tierney said during a news conference. And authorities have hinted more charges could be coming. Noting in court documents, Heuermann has been tied to at least one other disappearance, that of Brainard Barnes, of a woman who was later found dead. So that's he took these people and he changed their lives forever. He changed it and did what he wanted to do. And families, I know they are grateful for all the people that search for their loved ones all of these years, and we are also happy that they can get some closure of knowing what happened, who did it, and that they have been brought to justice to pay for all the heartache, the pain, the tears, the waiting, the unknown, the phone calls. These people had to go through phone calls for scared to answer their phone because psycho is calling. You see the phone ringing and it's your daughter's or your sister's number. You thinking she's alive, so you excited. You're gonna answer that phone. It's my sister calling. The first time, at least anyway, you're gonna be, oh, there she goes, she calling, she all right. You don't know where she was, but you answer the phone and it's the killer on the line, torturing you, letting you know, don't get your hopes up. You think she coming home? This is a real disturbed person to go this far and then to go to court and say he innocent. No, you should go to court and explain to the judge the same thing you explain to the young kids, to the mothers, sisters. You need to go and explain that to the judge. Don't pretend that if it was you, allegedly, if it was him, don't go to court talking about you're innocent. You've been so intent on saying that you the one did it and how you did it and all that. So you should just continue your story, your truth. Continue telling the truth, because you're not going to be able to fool the jury from what I've read, from the DNA, from the 20 years, a couple of different people, a belt with HM or WH on it that your wife knows is yours. Your kids done seen that belt. The burlap with the hair in it, you're not going to be able to escape that type of evidence unless they find somebody else with more evidence. Or maybe he know who did it. It wasn't him. Somebody had his car. Somebody had his burlap. Somebody gave him a piece to bite off of. And somebody, that green truck that he borrowed from his brother or whoever, maybe it was him. Maybe this is the route he's going to try to take, because he's saying he's not guilty. So maybe the cell phones, I don't know how he's going to get out of that. The pinging by his job and pinging by his home. I guess his brother was riding around with the cell phones. I would like to see him get on the stand and try to explain that it's not him, because he's going to look like a fool, just like he's looking now. He's going to look like a fool, and nobody's going to believe it. Not with the DNA. Plus, I'm sure they know his voice, because he was calling, so they're going to have him to speak whenever he do an interview where he's speaking through his lawyer. But I'm sure they got some record. They showed the recording where he was fixing the building, so they got his voice. So the family he's been calling, they're gonna identify that voice unless he disguised his voice with something. But I don't think he went that far, because he was too busy bragging. He wanted them to know, so he bragged and tortured and tortured. But hopefully his wife can add to the story, or his children can add to the story about where he was or what he was doing, or what they know about the burlap, or about the pizza, about his actions. Was he slipping out at night during those times? His web searches, maybe they seen him searching for something on the computer. Maybe they want to add and go ahead and put some more nails in the sentence for him and go ahead and get him out of here, because nobody wants to live with this man. And if they go up there and talk to him in jail, then maybe they can get him to talk, or they already can, when somebody lying and you're close to him, they can look in his eyes and see, yeah, he did it. It was him. He's still lying. But that DNA don't lie. So if they got 100% match, and we are 100% that they will get him, keep him. They got him already. Keep him for the rest of his life, because that's what he need. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this up, and I guess in August when he come back with some more of his lies, we'll see. And if you like to support the families of Melissa Bartheelemy, Maureen Brainard Barnes, Megan Waterman, Amber Lynn Costello, Jessica Taylor, or Valerie Mack, you can go to our PayPal button on the page and support them with $1, $10, whatever. We, people, hey, $10 will get you to the gas station. It'll help out. Because a lot of time when people traumatized, they can't work. They can't think. They can't, they go into depressions, need medication, This stuff is it's traumatizing, it's terrorizing. So all of this, you're scared, you're looking over your shoulder, it just takes you down. The man was on the loose for 20 years, so if you would like to support the family, then please do so. And like I say, this is 100% donation go to the causes. We don't keep anything, and you can donate here and feel free to this going to the right place where you donated to, and by subscribing, as this channel grows, you'll be helping somebody. We'll be able to go out and do something real big for families going through these tragedies. That's why we're here, because we want to make sure that these people get 100% of the donation. These people get 100% of the money that you give to help. And besides what PayPal charge, we can't control that. But as we get monetized on YouTube, I think they have a donation thing for nonprofits. After you get monetized, and 100% of the donation can go to these families, to disasters, to your community, because we want to give the money when a disaster happened, to the community, to the victim. We want some go directly to these people, directly to your community, because this is how we get back on our feet. The government have resources too, but sometimes the red tape or something ties the money up, and people need direct help. And this is what the charities are for, to get there quick with no red tape, get to you quick. And but we're licensed by the IRS, so we're part of the overseen by the government too, but we get the license so we can get to you quick, and the people will have a way to help when they want to. But you all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you for listening.